Hi everyone, welcome to our weekly product webinar. I hope you're having a good time. I see some of you have already joined. Welcome to the webinar. We have a lot of people who signed up, so we'll wait for a few more minutes before we let everybody in and just ensure that everyone is present as we get started on this. So for all of you who already joined, I would request if you can just give me a thumbs up or send me a message in the chat box if you can hear me well, see us well, and it's all good.
Right, on your right you'll find the chat box. Right, you have space to post your questions. Right, so right now you can just put us a thumbs up on the chat area. That will help us know that you can hear us well and see us well.
Perfect.
Right, and you'll find the chats that I'm sending during the webinar. You'll find them on the right. Right.
Seems like some of you joined. John, Praveen, Peter. I hope you all having a good time. And before we let everybody in, just a minute more, would you guys, mind if you let me know where are you from so that we can understand where our audience is coming from? Peter happens to be from London. Get to know that, Peter. Italy, nice. A lot of European people already. Kamlesh K, I think you're on mute.
I'm sorry, bad habit. Okay, we have Will from Canada, Harshal from Canada as well. Then Amber is from Thailand. Okay, we have Roslyn who's joined us from Australia. That's great. It's like 3 hours in Australia right now.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining.
Perfect. So I think it's about time we get started on this. So guys, what I'm going to do next is I'm about to share my screen and we'll walk you through a very quick presentation about Salesmate, followed by which we'll go through a product demonstration. So by the time my screen pops up, again, I request if you can share if you can see my screen well. I hope this is visible.
Yes, it looks good. Guys, if you can see it, please put a thumbs up on the chat. Right, I'm just adding a thumbs up. You have emojis which you can use.
Perfect. So I think let's get started on this. So guys, thank you very much for joining in on this weekly product webinar. It really means a lot to us. Some of you are under our free trial. Some of you are our existing customers. Some of you might not have heard about Salesmate. So I'm just going to take a minute to introduce you to Salesmate. And then, as I said, we'll quickly jump on to the live product demo. So meet the speakers for the day. My name is Heer Soni. I'm a part of product and sales education team here at Salesmate. And I'm joined by Kay, who happens to be a team lead on the customer success side and is a product specialist.
Hi guys, most of you would have interacted with me on chat, else you would have already seen the tons of emails that I send out to you guys, right? So there I am, right here in front of you.
Great. So guys, let's move to the next slide, and it says what exactly is Salesmate. So while there are a lot of different definitions to a platform like Salesmate, one that I personally love the most is, and one that is very simplifying for people to understand, it's just like one single platform to manage sales, marketing, and service experiences. So think about all your customer data, all your customer interactions, all the automation around it, all your campaigns, everything that you would want to do just to manage your customers and any function that is a customer facing. You would have all this data at one centralized place. And since you have all this in one centralized place, Of course, that delivers you a lot of different intelligence to plan your strategies and business decisions based on the data or the footprints that you've left so far. We'll talk more about that during our demo. So, how Salesmith stacks up in the market? So, it's been about 5 years that we are into the market, and I think we've had an immense success thanks to our customers who have showered immense love. As you can see on the screen, we've had multiple different honors and accolades and awards in different categories. In fact, Gartner just named us, topped us in the CRM space, competing with some of the leading names in the market already. On the right, you can see some raving reviews from our customers across multiple different channels, and we have a lot of different micro categories under which we have had awards, which just says that we are doing a good job in terms of delivering the right value for all the money that you spend on the platform like SalesMate. So without further ado, let's jump on to the live demo and really understand how the product looks like. So as soon as you log inside SalesMate, well, this is where you will land. It's a dashboard. We'll talk about dashboard in a moment, but before that, let me give you a quick overview of the interface first. On the left, you can see different modules. It says dashboard, contacts, companies, activities, deals, and a lot more. We'll touch all of them in a moment. You have a global search bar where you can search across any kind of records. It really helps if you are working on account-based sales or account-based marketing, where you have to touch few records often and you don't have to go and search them. You'll be able to find all these records right here. You can quickly add any kind of record, including contact, companies, activities, product or your deal, anything as such. SalesMate has industry's best built-in calling system through which you can purchase and dial in up to 80 countries. You can purchase local numbers, you can log your calls, you can record your calls, you can drop ringless voicemails, and there's a lot to it. You don't need to have a dedicated telephony system and then connect it to your CRM to function in your sales team, or to run your business as such. You have a real-time notification center where you will get instant notifications about anything important, including your email opens or anything that has been assigned to your team activities or customer activities as such. There's a place for you to reach out to us, Team SalesMate, for anything related to your, maybe your queries, maybe your concerns, questions, anything that you might have. We already have a support portal which has a ton of different resources, including videos, articles, blogs, which are very self-explanatory. But you can always reach out to us on chat. Kay, my mate here, leads that. We are available Monday to Friday around the clock, 24/5. And you will get a response in under 5 minutes. The reason is these are like live humans and no chatbots to entertain you, but real humans to engage with. And as you get started on SalesMate, if you go to the setup, you will see a ton of different options. Let me close this so that you can have a better view of the interface. We believe, no matter how good a piece of software or a technology is, it is not really enough for all the businesses out there. So we give you a complete leeway to customize SalesMate according to your unique business needs. Right. You have data administration options where you can easily manage all your data. SalesMate also connects with your favorite third-party apps, including Microsoft Suite, complete Google Suite, any other dedicated tool that you would want to run your sales or marketing or customer success process. Not only that, we also connect with Zapier, through which you can connect up to 700 plus other apps. And just in case if you think, well, that's not really enough, we have our API documentation available, which will let you connect to any other custom-built technology stack that you might have on your end. It also has automation in place. We'll talk about that as we move through that section. You of course have a section or an ability to manage your users and its security. Exercise as to who should be able to see what should they be able to do within your platform, and your standard account management. But to really get started on SalesMate, well, you can import or migrate data in two different ways. One is through a CSV or an Excel, or you can import it from other CRM. Our team here at SalesMate typically helps all our customers onboard to SalesMate and also train them. So it is a very simple, self-explanatory process. All you have to do is just map the data. And as soon as you do it, well, you'll be able to find all your data right here. I'm starting with contacts because that is where the crux of a CRM lies. So if you go to this section called as contacts, you'll be able to see all the different details as such, right? Name, job title, a company name, email, and a lot of other details that you would want to know. Of course, you can customize this. Secondly, we do not complicate when it comes to jargonizing any kind of contact that you might have. Think about anybody that you would deal with on a day-to-day basis. It could be your leads, your existing customers, your prospects. It could be your vendors, your resellers, your partners. All of them would be called as contacts in one single place, and then you can map which kind of a contact is it, and you can literally have a customized type based on your unique business and sales needs. Talking about user interface, it's very simple, very easy to use. you know it can be used by a baby boomer as well. It doesn't really require any technical knowledge or heavy technical training at all. As you can see, you can quickly rearrange the columns, right? You can choose to see what fields do you want to see, what you feels you don't want to see. And just in case you think, well, that's not really enough, you can also add a custom field if you want to capture more information. You can add up to 200 custom fields, which is by far the largest that you would find in any other CRM. You can add fields of different types: integer, decimal, date time, just in case you want to capture birthdays or anniversaries, or invoice is due, anything that you would want to capture in terms of date. You can do that. You can have select, multi-select, where you will have multiple different options that you can choose from. You can also create a lookup field, which will help you create those rich relationship between two different entities or records, and it's super easy to set it up as well. If you create a contact that is already available into the system, Salesmate is smart enough to give you all the possible duplicates so that you don't end up making the mess out of your database and keep it really clean and pristine. Right. Not only that, now since you have data, since you have contacts, of course you would want to have segments, because you would want to run sales campaigns or marketing campaigns on top of it. So we have a filter option where you can have a ton of different filters, as you can see on the screen. It also includes all the custom fields that you've added, and you can save that as well for your future reference. And as soon as you save it, you'll be able to find all these views right here. So these are some system defined views, which says all contacts, my contacts, right, new this week. And these are some custom views that I've created: lead list, prospects from LinkedIn campaign. And as you may notice, I can also mark it as favorite for easier and faster access. It's super easy to do it, right? You can quickly preview, and something like this would open on the right side, where you will get all the information about your contact, including their details, where they are, their email, contact details, your communication timeline, what was it all about, all the related deals and activities and emails that you send, and any other third-party app that's in case you've configured. But if you really want to know more about your contact, if you go to the detail view, well, this is what we call as a customer 360-degree view. It's like a goldmine of information. Everything that you would want to know about your customer or a contact, you'll be able to find it right inside this view. So there is this contact. Aaron Baker happens to be a co-founder of a company called as InsurTech. You can see I can find his address. I have some social media profiles attached to it. These are again auto-enriched with the help of a native integration with a tool called as Clearbit. Will help you auto-enrich all these social media profiles so that your marketing teams or sales reps do not have to go and research it manually. You can find all this information right here. You can choose to see what fields do you want to see and hide, and you can customize all the fields that you would like to see it here as well. Now you can also have tags. So think about tags as something that would give you a context or a clarity to the kind of a record is it, right? So you can add tags across any different parameters in terms of length, breadth, depth. Think about a way you would want to classify any kind of a record. You can add a tag for it so that you can, in the future, of course, run through some filters, generate some reports, just basically run through some analysis if you want to do that. On the right, you can see some smart competitor insights. Now, it happens all the time running sales teams, right? We forget when was the last communication, right? What was it all about? And what was the medium used? So the system will give you all the competitor insights. Last communication was on email. 6 days ago, there was an open deal. There is an open deal rather of this value, $142. I can see I haven't won any deal. For Aaron, I have 8 activities. One of them is done, 7 are pending basically. I can find all the deals or opportunities that I'm working on for Aaron, and I can see all the third-party apps connected. Here it shows Paradox, but think about QuickBooks or DocuSign or Xero for that matter. You can use any of these tools and you don't need to toggle between SalesMate and your third-party tool. You'll be able to create documents, invoices right inside the screen for this particular contact, and it will be all automated. His first name, last name, anything else that you would want to add as a matter of personalization, you can add it right here within this widget. You'll also be able to find all the page views. We'll talk about page views later as we check live chat messenger. We'll also talk about recent conversations. You can see what list is Aaron a part of. So lists are again your segments based on which you would want to run your marketing or sales campaigns. You can see all the recent events that he has done. So we'll also talk about recent events in the live chat messenger feature that we'll talk in the next few moments. And you can also see what sequences is he a part of. Right. On the center, you can see a complete communication timeline. So all the correspondence that you had with your customer would be logged inside this timeline automatically, of course, in a sequence that occurred without you having to do anything manual. So you can see it seems like I have a follow-up call for October 6th, right? I can see some emails being sent, some calls being done, talking more about calls. As you can see, you can add in notes, very simple to do it. You can select an outcome. Was it connected? Did you leave a voicemail? Was there a no answer? And not only that, you can also listen to your call recordings. You can, of course, download it, and you can also add notes to collaborate with your team members. So, for example, if I add Jason, who just made a call, for example, and I want to coach Jason on calling etiquettes, I can do that, right? Not only that, if there is a request from Aaron Baker, who happens to be one of our customers, and I want to pass it to somebody, I can do it with the help of @mention. Now, this saves me time to having to go through, their desk or maybe call them on Slack, Teams, just to know what's going on. This is super easy, super powerful when you want to easily and seamlessly collaborate with your team members, especially when you have multiple different functions or a larger team members. And then you can see some text being exchanged and a lot of different updates as here, right? You can quickly filter through all the different activities, deals, notes, just in case you might have emails, and a lot more. Now, let's talk about adding all these details. So you can quickly add a note, and as I said, you can quickly add anybody, mention it. It's very robust. You can create like tables, have multiple different formattings, the way you would like to capture more information, add in your notes, whatever it is, right? You can also send an email to Aaron right from the screen. Talking more about emails, SalesMate connects with your email provider. It could be Gmail, it could be Outlook, any other custom email provider that you would use, and it would be a two-way sync. You can choose to enable or disable a two-way sync, and of course choose which folders would you want to sync. But then any email being sent or received either from SalesMate or your email provider would be logged inside SalesMate automatically without you having to do anything. So for example, if Aaron sends me an email, from this email, I'll be able to find it right here without me having to do anything as such. I can send an email, I can insert a template, and let's say if I insert a template, it's very simple to do it. Right? You can see I can always personalize my email communication. You can use any of the fields, including your custom fields, to really personalize all your communications without having to do manual efforts again and again. You can choose to send it, you can choose to schedule it at a later date and a time. You can also set a reminder for yourself, saying if I'm sending an email, what I want to do is I want to get a reminder next Wednesday about an email that I just sent. I can choose in a condition, right? If there is no reply from Aaron, whether he has not read my email or regardless of it, I want to make sure that I get an email out of it. Just as a reminder, I can choose to do it. I can set a reminder for myself. That way, I can always ensure that no deals or leads ever fall through the cracks, right? I can attach files. I can also track my emails. This is super powerful. Anytime, let's say for example, if I hit send, if Aaron opens my emails or clicks through any links, I'll get an instant real-time notification right here so that I would know when my prospects or my customers are engaging with my content. And it really helps, especially in the cold outreach. Next, let's talk about adding an activity. It's like a follow-up activity that you would want to add. So you can clearly name a title. What is it all about? You can choose a type of an activity it is, say call, task, meeting, demo. You can choose to have a custom activity type based on your requirements. So if you are running account-based sales or account-based marketing. It may include, let's say for example, LinkedIn touch, right? Versus if you are in real estate, it may include, let's say, showing properties. You can quickly add different types based on your needs, and then you can choose one. Of course, you can choose start time and date and a time, right? You can also add multiple different people to this particular activity or meeting that you would want to have. You can add in your location. You can add a description. What is it all about? Just to quickly set an agenda. You can also add a recurrence. You can choose your availability too. Now, SalesMate also connects with your calendars, Microsoft Calendar, Google Calendar, and then you can choose that whether, if so, for example, if you book a session on October 6th at 10 in the morning, if you choose to do that, and if you set your availability busy, it will still show that you are booked on your Google or Microsoft Calendar, the calendar that you use. It is super powerful to really manage your calendar very, very well without you having to toggle between your calendar and your Salesman app. You can add in an internal note which would be just for your internal reference. You can choose an owner. You can link different kind of records including deals, contact or companies. You can add in multiple different followers just for your internal reference. Again, you can have some of you from your team members, some from the customer's attorney, just in case you want to add anything that you would want to add. You can do that, and you can also add tag for your future reference. You can hit save. You can also log any previously done activity, right? You can also attach a file either from your system or from your Google Drive. Not only that, you can also dial your contact right from the screen or choose to send them a text. It's super easy and super powerful. We just talked about an individual communication. Let's say for example, if you want to do a bulk communication, you can select all of them. You can choose to send them all bulk email, text, enroll them to a sequence, create an activity, or add them to a list. Next, let's move to companies. Companies, as the name goes by, are will help you associate multiple different records within a company. You would have an account, and you would also be able to find all the communication that you had with that account for multiple different contacts associated with that company. As you can see on the screen, you can quickly add more context to this, and everything else that you see is just what we saw in the context module. Complete timeline, insights, anything that you would want to add. You can also have these custom views which says what is which company was it acquired by, who is the client of this reseller, and a lot more to it. We're not going to waste a lot of time on the companies because it is very much similar to what we saw in the contacts. So let's switch gears and move to activities. So activities, as the name goes by, are all the tasks that we have to do on a day-to-day basis. So if your sales reps start their day, they don't really have to go and hunt for the task. As soon as they move on to the activity module, they would know what they have to do. You can quickly filter it through different activity types. You can filter it through different timelines, any custom timeline as well. You can choose to see it in a list view, in a calendar view. You can quickly create an activity as well. You can run multiple different filters, and of course you can save all your views just the way we saw on the contacts module. It's super powerful. Not only that, there is something amazing that we have, what we call as smart activity queue. And what it will do is, anytime you want to have a power hour, or you really want to focus on your tasks, as soon as you hit start queue, the system would start taking the tasks up one after the other, and wouldn't let you take a nap in between, or maybe just walk through your desk or something. It will continue to work on all the tasks that you have to do, and of course you can pause it and you can choose when you need a break. But this is super powerful especially if you want to achieve a lot within a limited time. And similarly, we have it for calls as well, and the system will start dialing automatically one after the other without you having to do anything. Super helpful for cold outbound calls or a lot of inbound calls, just in case you have heavy inbound flow of leads. Next, let's move on to the deals. And deals, as the name goes by, are all the opportunities that you would have for all your contacts. So you can have multiple different pipelines. By pipelines, I mean different processes, which could be across different line of businesses, different functions, different different teams as well. It depends on your business needs as well. So for example, if I talk about marketing, there are different stages. It says suspects, interested, qualified, and marketing qualified lead. Next, if we move to the new business pipeline, which is like a sales pipeline, you would see a qualification stage, new leads, discovery, proposal, then you go into the negotiation mode, and then of course it's a closure. So all these stages that you see in here are all customizable. You can choose to have your stages based on your sales or marketing or success or business process as well. Not only that, you can see a forecast value. So the system computes all these forecast value based on the win probability that you add at each stage. You can add it customizable based on your business needs. For example, for all the deals in a qualification stage, I can choose that there is a 10% chance that this deal will close, versus all the deals that are available in a proposal stage, maybe there is a 50% chance that all of these deals will close. And based on the win probability that I set, the system will give me near to accurate forecast value. Not only that, if you really look at this view, you can, first of all, you can choose to see it in a list or a board view based on your preference, but it will give you a complete health check of all the important opportunities that your team is running. And all the color codes that you see inside the screen has a meaning. So for example, the green ones mean the deal has been won, the red ones mean the deal has been lost. The little icons here also have a meaning. The yellow one means there is no planned activity, meaning the ball is in the customer's court. You don't really have any plan to take it to the next level. The red ones mean it has an overdue activity, meaning essentially you plan to do something, but maybe you got busy onto something else. So you should quickly finish that activity. And it's very simple to move a deal from one stage to another. All you have to do is just simply drag and drop from one stage to another. You can change its pipeline, market has won, market has lost. Excuse me for that. You can run through multiple different filters. You can sort your deals based on win probability, owner, value, inactive days, and a lot of other parameters as you can see on the screen. And of course, you would define all your views based on the filters that you choose. Next, we move to products. So products, as the name goes by, are all the items or offerings that you would have. And what you want to do next is you want to easily assign it to all your deals. So you can choose to have one. For example, in Salesmate's case, it's subscription services that we sell, right? So I can add in my details, SKUs, code, just in case I have it, all the prices available, different variations too, right? You have a product, let's say a shirt, could be like a polo shirt, could be anything as such. You can add multiple different variations with the same color, and you'll be able to quickly add a price to it. And of course, you'll be able to find all the open deals within that product. So if you really want to know which product or offerings is having the highest deals, you'll be able to find that right here. Next, we move to inbox, and as the name goes by, it's a very standard inbox. As you can see on the screen, I can find all my folders in here. I can quickly compose an email. Very simple to do it, and I have a ton of different settings to customize it based on my unique needs. I can choose to sync all folders or only selected folders. Of course, I have a lot of different archive and delete settings. I can set in my email preferences. You want to keep it public, private. I want to share it with teammates and owner. I can have my formatting style set up. I can set in my email signature too. I can have my notification preferences set too. So you will get a notification about email, mobile app, desktop, and notification center, basically a bell icon right here. You can customize it based on your unique business needs. And of course, we have a chat notification as well. We'll talk about that as soon as we move on to the chat module. But the point I'm trying to tell here is you can literally customize the way you would like it. And talking more about mobile app, we also have an Android and iOS apps available in the Play Store. They are super powerful, all of which that we just saw and we're gonna see in the next few minutes is already available on your phone, so that you can constantly sell on the go without you having to limit yourself to work in front of your system or your computer, right? And it has some amazing features too, like business card scanner will automatically populate and capture rather all the details such as first name, last name, contact number, email, right from the business card and add it to your CRM. It also has your location fencing available, wherein you would be able to find all the contacts that you have in your CRM in the nearby vicinity, so that you can pick up a phone and maybe set up a random meeting with them. It's super powerful. I would highly recommend you all to check that out just in case you haven't tried that yet. You can add in your calendars so that it is always in sync with your sales meetings or anything that you would want to have. And not only that, you can customize some of your notifications based on your calendar too, any other important activity that you would have. So for example, for all the meetings that I have, I want to make sure that I can get an email, let's say 1 day prior to it, so that I can make sure I'm prepared for it. Versus if there is any product demo that I have, I want to make sure that I get an email 60 minutes prior to it. I can choose to customize it the way I would like it. Next, it's a team inbox. As the name goes by, it's a shared inbox, and you can connect multiple different emails in one single inbox. So talking more about that, you can have emails such as sales@salesmate.io or info@salesmate.io, support@salesmate.io. You can connect all these emails in one single place and really address them fast and delegate it to the right team based on the kind of query that you receive. So for example, you can see I've added marketing, customer support, sales, 3 different emails, right? And if there is any request or any query from the customer, I can just read through it, I can assign it to somebody so that somebody can take lead on that. Just in case if it's a sales inquiry, you can attach a deal to it, you can choose to follow it yourself, you can add in additional followers. Also, you can tag as to what kind of an inquiry or a request from your customer it is, right? So that you can always refer back. Not only that, a lot of time it happens that you have a request from your customer and you would need some help from your team back in the office before you commit something, right? So you can always add notes and quickly add anybody into the team. Let's say you want to add Matt, you can just add in your notes saying there's this request from the customer, happens to be our hot customer, let's make sure we get back to them within next 24 hours, right? You can choose to do that so that it becomes very seamless, very easy, and more importantly, you would delight your customers. And once your request is addressed, you can choose to close your queries just like any standard ticketing tool. In fact, we at Salesmate do not use any other dedicated customer support tool. We use Team Inbox for hundreds of inquiries that we receive day in and day out. And I can tell you, since we use it, that it is super powerful. It will help you decommission your need to pay for any other additional tool and then manage all the customer data into the fragments. Next, it's a text box. You can choose to send and receive text just like you would do in a standard text tool, right? You'll be able to find all these details right here, because if you want to address anything or if you want to send anything, you'll be able to find all these details and you can brush up your knowledge before sending a response to your customers. It also includes multimedia messages, so you can choose to send maybe images or something. You have templates that you can reuse again and again, so that you don't have to manually type all the text messages that you would frequently want to send. Next, let's move to forms. So forms are like web forms, and what they would do is you can attach those forms onto your website or any other online presence as such, and it's very simple to do it. As you can see, all you have to do is just copy paste this code on your website, on your code basically, and then of course, as you can see on the screen, there is this form that's popped up. Of course, you can choose your own design language and make any changes that you would want to make. But the benefit that it brings to you as a user is that anybody who fills out this form would land directly inside Salesmate. So you can add it to your website. All your hot inbound leads would land directly inside Salesmate, and without you having to do any manual export to an Excel and then importing it to your CRM. Not only that, there is an additional benefit to it as well. Now, since it is already available in the system in Salesmate, you can automate a lot of it. So talking more about this, we have workflows in place. So workflows, as the name goes by, are rule engines. All you have to do is you can choose a trigger. For example, if I take this information, take this particular example, I can choose a trigger. When should this execute? I can choose in my condition, and I can choose an action. So taking an example of a web form that we just discussed, let's say there is somebody who fills out a form on your website. What you want to do next is You want to make sure that you send them a thank you email saying, hey, you know what, thank you for reaching out to us. We'll get back to you within maybe 24 to 48 hours or something. An email will be fired automatically. At the same time, you can also assign that lead to one of your sales reps. Since it's a hot inbound inquiry, what you want to do is maybe you want to make sure that your sales reps get on a call with them within the next 2 days, as you rightly promised on the email, right? So you can choose to send them an email. You can automatically create a deal. You can assign an activity to somebody, right? You can choose, of course, a start date. You can choose who's an owner. You can update any fields based on automation. You can also call webhooks, call any third-party systems, just in case you want to make sure you want to migrate some, based on some automation, you want to pass some data to your third-party apps. You can easily do it with the help of workflows. Also, you can enroll them to a sequence. So talking more about sequences, sequences are your automated sales cadences, right? Wherein you would want to reach out to the customer until you get a reply from them. So you can have multiple different sequences. Let's take an example of this particular one. It says it has it's named App Development Conference. So what I want to do is I want to reach out to all the potential attendees in a conference that I'm about to have a booth for, right? So there is an email that goes out on day one. We'll wait for 3 more days. There is an activity. Maybe I have to go and get on a call with them. If there is no success, no reply from the customer, there will be an automated text that would go out. And just in case there's still no response from the customer, there would be an automated email that would go out on day 20. Similarly, you can have multiple different steps, and it can be all automated based on your unique business needs. You can also have a manual intervention as and when you would want, but it will really help you standardize all your sales process, and at the same time make sure that everybody follows it, and you'll be able to gain a lot of insights about it as well. So talking more about it, let's say for example, if I choose my timeline, let's say from May 1st to July 30th, I want to find out all the contact insights. I'll be able to find it right here, right? How many contacts were there? What is the bounce rate, unsubscribe rate, reply rate, how many are pending, and a lot of other stuff, right? I can see some email insights too. Very super, very powerful, super easy to get going. You'll be able to find all the contact insights as well. Let's say right from May, October, I'd be able to find which contacts are at what stage, what do they do. It seems like stage 1 is executed, stage 2 is remaining. Similarly, I'd also be able to find every detail about my email insights too, as in how many of my contacts or customers are actually opening my email or responding to it. So as you can see on the screen, it seems for Jack White the email has been delivered, but he has not really opened it or clicked to any link that I've shared, or hasn't replied. Versus James Black, who has also replied. Here for Gina Allen, it says she has replied thrice. So I know for a fact that Gina happens to be more engaged with my content compared to maybe Aaron Baker or Jack White, right? I can also have a ton of different settings to customize it the way I would like it, right? I can enable threading. Email goes out in a single thread, or you want to make sure emails go out one after the other in a separate thread. You can choose your standard delivery time zone. You can also use contacts time zone if it's set. So it doesn't really matter if your contact is in London, maybe in New York, or San Francisco, wherever they are. If you said your email goes out at 8 o'clock, the email will go out at 8 o'clock to respective to their time zone, without you having to do anything as such, right? You can have a ton of different settings around daytime window. You want to make sure it goes in specific days as well. You want to have access rights, public, private. You want to keep it read only. Just in case you receive out of office emails, what you want to do, you want to pause it for 3 days and then resume. You can choose your exit criteria, right? When do you want to unenroll somebody out of your sequence? It says it stops on email reply if there is a response on all the sequence emails that you send. If there is a reply on anyone, you can choose to exit them. On any other email communication as well, just in case they reply out of your sequence email, or maybe just you send it, you initiate any other conversation, well, you can choose to unenroll them. You can choose to stop on text, on deal be closed, and a lot of other settings as well. You can assign tags to multiple different conditions. What happens when a contact is added to the sequence, right? If an email bounces, you would want to add, let's say for example, bounced or unsubscribes, right? You may choose to add unsubscribed, so that you would want to make sure that you don't really annoy or bug them anymore. And then you can choose to have multiple different settings. And it's super easy, super powerful to run your sales campaigns with the help of sequences. Next, let's switch gears and talk about an amazing feature that we recently launched called as Meeting Scheduler. As the name goes by, you can quickly create meetings with anybody in the team. It's just like one single link that you would want to send to a lot of different people that you would want to have a meeting with, and then they can book based on your availability. You can have multiple different meeting types, such as one-to-one, right? You can have a group meetings as well. You can also have a team meetings. So when I say team meetings, let's say it happens a lot of times, right? As a manager, for example, if I want to meet with my CEO, CTO, CIO, all three of them, when all three of them are available at one single time, I can choose to have this particular meeting. I can also have like a round robin, especially when you run customer support team or sales team, and you really want to make sure that the lead that goes out to all the reps one after the other based on their availability. Well, you can choose to have multiple different meeting types as well. And then let's say, for example, if we take this particular example, you have a ton of different settings too, right? You can choose your meeting URL, you can choose a location. We are coming up with Zoom integration. In the future, we would also have Google Meet and Microsoft Teams meeting integration. It would be super easy to do it. Basically, we want to cut down your expense on spending on any other third-party meeting scheduler tools, for example, Calendly as well, right? You can choose different meeting, on conditions as to, would you call an invitee? Do you expect a call from your invitee? You can have multiple different meeting types just in case you want to add it onto your activities. You can choose to have your availability as well. A ton of different settings too. You can choose to have a form questions wherein you would want to ask somebody who books a meeting, and then you can have answers to it. You can just choose to have questions and a lot of different stuff. You can choose to have email notifications that would go out to the invitee, to you, how do you want to do it, and a lot more settings. So next, let's move to live chat. I think we were talking about it since we saw contacts module. So as you would know, live chat, as the name goes by, will really help you sell and serve your website visitors. You can easily plug this onto your website, and you can have live chat agents or live customer support team member address any needs that your customers might have. And it's super powerful because customers want answers fast right now, the way they would like it, and it's really, really important for us to be, as a business, to be available on the web all the time. So taking an example here, right? You can choose to reply. Very simple to do it, right? You can add in additional notes. You can tag or mention somebody from your teammate, add in something that you would want to add before you reply to your contact. You can assign it to somebody. You can mark it as a priority. You can add a conversation title. You can add a tag. What was it all about? Let's say, they're looking for consulting, for example, right? If in case you want to add it, you can add a tag so that you can always refer what type of request is it from the customer. And every time you would have it, you would also have past sessions from the customer all noted down. So you can find all the details. There's this name of the customer, where it is coming from, all the recent conversations that you had in the past. You can see page views. I think I was discussing about page views. So what it does is it will give you all the pages that your customer or your contact has viewed onto your website, right? So that will really help you have a right conversation with your customer as to what product or offering are they most interested in, and maybe you can throw in some personalized offer to them, right? You can also see some recent events. So talking more about events, you can actually configure and feed data to Salesmate about what your existing customers are doing within your platform. Your platform could be your website, could be any other application just in case you might have, and you can feed it all the data. So you'll be able to find and track and monitor all the details about your customers, and you would have all the intelligence that is required to have right conversation with the customer at the right time, just to ensure you're able to fulfill his or her need in a timely manner, and more importantly are also able to grow your account and convert them really really fast. You have a ton of different settings too. Of course, this is how it looks like. You can just choose to have place it anywhere. A lot of different aesthetics and appearance settings which you can choose. You can choose your availability. You can set right expectations. You also have canned responses, which is nothing but templates that you would want to reuse again and again when you respond to your customer queries on the web. Next, let's move to automation journeys. As the name goes by, it will really help you automate your end-to-end customer journeys right from your sales, marketing, or customer support standpoint. And not only that, even if you have any other internal processes that you think can be automated, which are mundane, which are repeatable, which have a pattern in common, you can automate all of these with the help of Salesmate. So you can find all the different journeys that you created, and of course you can have folders, and then you can really bifurcate and segment it the way you would like it. You can also create a journey for yourself, and it's very simple, very easy to do it. As you can see on the screen, this is the canvas. It's a simple drag and drop, can be used by anybody. You can see a lot of different trigger cards, right? We have close to 30 different triggers that will help you automate your processes. You can automate based on any record being created, updated at a specific date and a time, any tag being added or removed, if the deal is into any specific stage, the deal stage is matched, if any activity is completed, if somebody is unsubscribed, right? Based on any specific email activity, somebody's added to a list. Just in case you want to run marketing campaigns, you can literally use lists, super powerful. You can have smart segments, any note being added, and a lot of other stuff. And not only that, we also have some advanced automation based on page visit and events. So the way we were looking at all the page views in the live chat messenger, similarly you can add any particular page or a URL that somebody has visited. You can add in your UTM variables, so you don't really have to basically manually check all the data from your Google Analytics, export it to your Excel or a CSV, then add it to your CRM, and then run through multiple different filters. And later your marketing team would be able to run relevant campaigns. Well, this would really cut down all this task in one single place, and all you have to do is just run an automation. For example, if somebody is viewing any particular page, any particular offering or a product, you may want to send them a personalized gift card or something. Well, you can easily do it, right? You can choose in any condition. You can check email status, contact, company, activity or deal field. You can choose if they are in any list, if they visited any page. Just it's simple to do it. Excuse me. You can add in condition. Then you can choose an action on top of it. There are multiple different actions, as you can see on the screen. You can add time delay, saying you want to wait for 2 days or maybe 5 days or a week or something. You can send them an email. You can email to a user, meaning email to anybody from your team members about anything as well. You can update any field. You can quickly create an activity. You can send them text. You can call any third-party assistants. You can also have A/B split, which is like branching. Will really help you test what templates or email templates or text templates work best for you. Or maybe if you want to have like two different parts, let's say for example, if you want to distribute leads between your teammates, you can easily do it with the help of A/B split, right? Not only that, you can also add change score. So what it does is it will really help you score your leads based on their likelihood to convert or based on their likelihood to buy your offerings. So you can choose to increase score based on certain data points or trends that you would be able to find, right? You can add in values. Let's say I want to make sure that I increase value if they visited X page, and if there is no further movement within the next 7 days, I want to decrease that value as well, because I want to make sure that the hotness or warmth of the customer's likelihood to buy is no longer valid anymore, right? So I can choose to do that. And it's very simple to configure it. All you have to do is just simple drag and drop, and similarly you can choose to add multiple different cards right here. And we are adding a lot of different actions, conditions and triggers every day, and I think this will be super helpful when you want to automate a lot of your processes, including your complete sales playbook or your customer playbook. Not only that, what we have done is we have also created some ready-made journey templates that you can easily plug and play onto your demo instance. You can filter through different categories, goals, industries. For example, if your goal is, let's say, lead generation, you'll be able to find different templates that or journeys that we've already created for you. So as you may notice, there are some annotations which are already available, which will really help you kickstart as to what kind of a journey is this, what does it cover, what do we do at each stage, how you can customize it. And as soon as you hit use template, it would be cloned onto your demo instance and you can literally start the journey. And we are also adding more templates to this automation journey library of templates that we've already created. Next, we move to dashboards and reporting. So Salesmate as industry is one of the best reporting capabilities available. It's very robust, very powerful as such. As you can see on the screen, there is this dashboard. It says SDR daily agenda. You can have multiple different dashboards based on multiple different report requirements that you might have, and each dashboard could have multiple different reports. So my agenda happens to be one widget or one report. Similarly, you would have activity performance overview, contacts most recently updated, and a lot of other reports. So as soon as an SDR starts his day, he knows what he has to do without having to hunt for the task, right? I can see some activity performance overview, how many calls being done, emails being done, sent, text being sent, how many notes are created, how many demos are done today, what are the call logs, and all the details around it. I can just listen to the call recordings right from the screen. Similarly, I can have different dashboards too. I can have a lead performance dashboard just to see how my marketing is doing, right? So I can see how many suspects are created, prospects are created, lists, leads are created rather. I can see all the prospects by industry, prospects by company size, by source, by country, right? I can have multiple different filters. I can choose in any date range, different frequencies, can filter it through different users or teams or any deal pipeline as such. Very simple and very easy to do it. If I want to know more about my sales performance, how my team is doing, how my sales team is doing, I can find it right inside this dashboard. For example, you can see what deals, how many deals are at what stage, what value do they hold, deals by source, why have I lost deals, and a lot of other reports. Similarly, if I want to know how my team is doing, well, I can find that too. I can find all my reps, what context, what kind of context are they managing, activity leaderboard, as in who is doing the most activities, who's like hardworking, who needs some hand holding, who's bringing in the most dollar value, and a lot more. So we already have a report library that you can use and plug reports onto this dashboard. And just in case if you think, well, that's not really enough, you can also add a custom report of your own. And it's very simple, very easy to do it. All you have to do is just add in your conditions and choose a report type. Choose the chart type. How would you want to populate it? And of course, you have a ton of different settings, right? Color themes. It's very robust as such. It would really help you plot any KPIs or reports that you would want to run your business. You don't really need any third-party reporting tool to manage how your team is doing. Also, we have an amazing little feature which we call as it's like a cherry on the cake. What it does is you can email this dashboard to anybody of your team members. Let's say you want to email this to your CEO, your C-level executive, right? You can do that. You can set a recurrence, making sure that every week, let's say Friday, I want to make sure that this report goes out at 2. Well, I can do that. I can choose if I want to include all reports or only selected reports. Do I want to send this as an inline image via email, or I want to make sure that it is compiled as a PDF and then sent. How would I want to plot it? like one widget per page or like multiple widgets? Do I need to add any filters without sending, or should I add filters? I can choose to have multiple different settings. Now this is super powerful because as a business owner or a CEO, right, you don't really need to log into Salesmate to really see what your team is doing, or how is your sales doing, or how is your marketing doing. You'll be able to find all these reports right inside your inbox. It doesn't really matter wherever you are. You're traveling, on a business meeting, having fun time at the beach, you'll be able to find all your reports right in your inbox. So I think we've covered a lot from a high level perspective. Again, what I would like to say and emphasize here is SalesMate is a vast platform. It covers a lot of different features and modules. While you can only choose to use the ones that you like, but what benefit does it bring to you as a business is anytime that you would want to scale, this is the platform that will deliver on its promise, and you don't really have to switch between any platform as such. You can choose to use only selected modules that you would like, and it's very simple, very easy to use it, or you can choose to have a complete platform the way you would like it. And more importantly, our team here at Salesmate is always there to handhold you or anything that you would need in terms of setting Salesmate up, implementing it. You want to make sure your team is trained onto it. As anytime you're stuck onto something, we are more than happy to get on a call with you and solve it for you. So we have a limited time available now, so I would like to open it up for Q&A.
All right. We have a question from Peter. Peter has asked a question: if I win a piece of business, does Salesmate allow the value of win to be phased over several months as a phased forecast for cash flow? Okay, to answer that, right now you can add a single value to your deals.
Yeah.
Right. If you're looking to see something, like you're looking to view forecasted values, you can actually duplicate the deals, right, and add a future date. That's how you can actually see the forecasted values. Or we are also thinking on these grounds, right? We're coming up with MMR, ARR features,
Yeah.
right? We're still thinking about it, right? So you can always share your views or what exactly you need around these features, right? And you can send us an email. You can email me at kamlesh@salesmate.io or send an email to support@salesmate.io, where we'll actually include these on our research and make sure that it gets added, right? So your feedback is always valuable to us.
Absolutely. Do we have any other questions?
One more question is about formula fields, right? Formula fields we've not given you directly as an interface, right? But we support Liquid.js, right? So it's a little bit piece of code, and we've got various support articles as well, letting you know how exactly you can use it. So you can update those custom fields, like if you want to calculate commission, right? Or if you want to calculate a date in the future, right? So these kind of things are very much possible, right, inside Salesmate. Get a little techie, right? But you can always reach out to the team and they'll help you configure it for you. So I see these are the two questions we had until now.
Absolutely.
Guys, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. We're still there for a minute or two, and before we actually close for the day.
Or if you want us to get back to you, if you want to request a call back, just in case you really want to explore whether Salesmate can really fit your business needs. Again, as Kay mentioned, you can reach out to us or you can book a demo, and our team would be more than happy to get back to you.
Yeah, so I've shared the email that you can reach out to us, right? That's support@salesmate.io, or you can even chat with us from the website or from our website, or if you're using the software right now, right, you can access the chat from under the question mark icon in the top right. And if you want to book a personalized demo, here I'm sharing another link, right? So you can book a demo directly with us using this link, right, for whatever time works for you. And for whatever updates we get, right, or whatever we publish it on our website. And here's our product update blog, where you'll find whatever updates that we are coming up with or the ones that we have rolled out.
Perfect. So guys, thank you very much for joining it. It really means a lot to us, especially coming from multiple different regions, somebody from Australia. Uh, Thank you so much. I wish you have a good day, uh, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. And if you have any specific feedback, especially on the product or just in case for the webinar, as in what would you like to see the most, feel free to reach out to us. We take feedback very seriously and would really want to incorporate and make sure we do justice to the time that you invested with us. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.
Subscribe to the Salesmate YouTube channel and press the bell icon to stay updated on our new features, releases, and insightful videos.